So I'm sat here creating a 2-year strategy plan for the Imaginarium and partners, of how we can develop and take the time to develop and think how we can recover in a world that we don't really know what's going to happen, do we? We don't, we're going to be in local lockdown. Middlesbrough's been put in local lockdown, yet the local MPs are against it. Well, I kind of see, again, is this money driven, or is this, what is the thought process of that? They asked for it, they got it, now they're saying they don't want it. No logic. Well, we won't go into local politics because it's a waste of my breath. But I'm having to turn to Arts Council again, and I find it quite ironic that Arts Council are our saviours. We have been lucky. Not every single organisation is lucky where Arts Council's concerned. At the end of the day, they have to do their judgments, and not everybody can get the funding because they can't afford for everybody to get the funding they need. We were very, very lucky we got the emergency funding. We got just over £30,000, which has lasted us 6 months for the Imaginarium to go online. It gave us a website, it gave us the equipment that we needed in order to face a new digital and technological future, which for me at 37, to be quite honest, was very scary and freaking out, and a bit of a technophobe as I've got older, even though my H&D is in music production, which again is quite ironic. So we're at a point now where we've got everything in place that we can deliver safely online. But we're in an area where there's digital deprivation. Not everybody has a laptop. Some families can't even afford food. How are they going to afford the internet? How are they going to afford to connect with us in that way? So again, in this strategy, it's a case of how can we engage? What do we do? Well, we need to explore how we engage with people, and it is something that we talk about at length. The website's great. We have got a plan to develop it further. We've got a plan to put in place to have an app. But again, not everybody has a phone, not everybody has a tablet. So how can we engage face to face from a distance and do it safely and deliver all the artistic activities that we would normally be delivering? And I just feel Arts Council are the only arts organisation, not the only one. I know there's lots of other grants and that are out there doing phenomenal work and supporting people, but for us, Arts Council is our go-to at the moment, and their strategy, Let's Create, is what I've been studying for weeks, and my God, do we need this strategy more than ever. More than ever. If you haven't read it, if you're an artist, go on the website and read Let's Create. Yes, it's relevant, and the outcomes are very relevant to my work specifically. It's the core of everything that we strive towards. I love the fact that it is a strategy that's hopefully going to give us time to adapt to the pandemic and create new work. We have created so much new work from learning from the pandemic. Filming is something that we have never looked at before as a platform, and now it is our only platform. We've had to upskill. Every single member of staff at the Imaginarium and apprentice has had to literally face the worst fears sometimes in terms of facing a camera. We've had to look at different methods of communicating. We've had to break down what we do, and we're going against all our training, really. Theatre's our thing. We perform live. If you go wrong and make a mistake, you have to carry on. It's fine. You just carry on. Hopefully nobody will notice and just carry on. That's how theatre works. You get a buzz off that, so you kind of, before you go on stage, you get the adrenaline pumping, you're starting to panic because anything could go wrong, but you get over it, you get on the stage, and we do keep going. Paul, who is our drama apprentice, summed up brilliantly when I was interviewing him for an evaluation, and he described going on the stage, the lights hit you, and you're in that moment, and all the fear goes away. but you are terrified to step out onto that stage to begin with. And I feel that's where we are as the Imaginarium right now. You know, we've got so many ideas. We are creative. We're adapting to every single move. We're trying to be flexible in kind of all these emerging challenges that are coming about the pandemic. But we have the fear to step into the light because you're up against it. And it's kind of sink or swim situation now as an artist. Do you put yourself out there? And let's face it, this is the biggest challenge we will ever face in our lifetime as artists. Well, and it's really hard. And then from the filming point of view, you're going against that training because we can press pause, we can redo it, but every single thing that we do is going to be scrutinised. Whether it's warm up, we have to get things right, stuff that we're trained to naturally do, and just get in front of a room full of kids and engage them. We bounce off the energy of who we're working with, whether they're young adults, teenagers, they're the big bulk of who we work with. You know, we hear their life stories, we embed that in our work, we take on the challenges that they're facing in their lives, whether it's they've got low confidence, low self-esteem. We will work on that to try and make them into independent artists in their own right as well. The education system right now, you know, this is where the government, you need to evaluate what you have done and the damage you have caused by taking away every, you know, artistic things in schools with this new e-back. You know, what are you even doing? All you're doing, maths and English, science, all them things, yes, they are important. We all agree it is important for an education. But taking away the creative subjects, was that really logical? All you're trying to do is you're creating sheep. And the outward way in this area specifically, and I'm not afraid to ruffle feathers, you know, the way that the whole model works is disgusting. All you're creating is little sheep. You don't want children to actually have their own voice. You just want them to be moulded to a way that you feel is basically robots. Whereas as creativity, it's problem solving, it's giving them the skills to have a voice, it's giving them room for their own thought, it's giving them the space and the time to listen to a child and actually listen to what they aspire to, what their ideas are. And that's how the Imaginarium does, is we embed their ideas and their hopes and their dreams in what we do with them. That's very important because you're giving them ownership. Yes, there's challenges that we face along the way. Things don't work out. It's problem solving. Isn't that what life is? Isn't that creating resilience in a young child to actually step into the light and say, this is my thought, this is my idea, and this is what I would like us to do? Yeah, by taking that creativity away in schools, you're taking that ability for them to learn that skill. So I didn't want this to turn into a rant, I didn't, but it has. Well, it is what it is. So let's create is what I'm looking at now, and I don't know how this is going to pan out. I don't know if we're going to be successful I've worked tirelessly with, and I thank my whole team. And I thank all the students as well, and the families that I work with, because without you, without your support, you know, the future in terms of creativity and culture will be non-existent. But this is what people do want. They do want a future. They do want to have creativity there and culture at the forefront of it. And I think that's one thing that you need to learn from this whole experience, is that you need to listen to what the community want. Stop making judgments for them. Stop making decisions for them when you actually need to start listening to what people actually need. Health and mental health are two of the key things that we need help with. So the idea of the Imaginarium now is we're building a 2-year recovery plan, and we do need grant help, we do need financial help, and it's a lot of money because our vision is big and our vision is ambitious, and we are linking in Let's Create hugely because it's needed. And I do encourage every other arts organisation to look at it as well. You know, you're investing in the future, and we need to link in the apprenticeships. Like, we're at Middlesbrough College, who are a partner, and we're going to be auditioning dancers to come and join, so some can come and join us and learn as an apprentice teacher. to do that this day and age is hard because it's not what the norm will be. We're not in normal working circumstances. The world's a very different place now. And I'm frightened for them in terms of going into a career in the creative industries right now. But all I'm saying is to have some resilience and actually dig down deep inside and don't give up, because creativity, I think, is going to flourish from this, with or without the government's help. Arts Council are our saviour. They are listening. It is very hard, but they are listening to kind of what we need to do in order to drive forward. Offering apprentices, offering a platform for artists and other organisations to partner in is key. We need support from the local authority, and so far we have been lucky. We are very, very lucky with kind of some of the kind of ambition that the local authority has as well, but not everybody is lucky. Not everybody has that support. Redcar and Cleveland Council have a very, very long way to go. They've got a lot of assets that are sat there wasted. Everybody knows my thoughts on certain assets, and I feel a lot needs to be given back to the community, and a consultation needs to happen now in order for us to drive forwards, to get the activities, the creativity there for our young children and young adults. It needs to be there now. It does more than anything, and I'm sick of sitting quiet, and I'm not going to be quiet anymore. I'm sick of pleasing people. And the strategy that we need to do, it needs to be realistic. It's ambitious, but it's realistic, because we've listened to everybody. We know what we need to do now. We know that we have a purpose, and we need to develop the role in that. We need to highlight that our work is valuable, that creative practitioners are very valuable in the grander scheme of things, and the government needs to start realising that. Our job role now is the recovery. Our role is to bring the community back together safely and to develop that. We need to kind of challenge the inequality of the wealth and opportunity that we have in this area specifically. I want to work with kids from all over the place, and we will. And we will be there, and we will go to them. And we need to reach out now to every single person and offer an artistic offer, saying that you can take part in artistic opportunities because they are there, and this is what we are here to do, and build on their life skills in the process, support their mental health. Isolation, you're going to have loads of kids and families in isolation right now. Well, we need as artists to step forward and help with that isolation and connect and start rebuilding bridges in terms of connection and engagement, and explore the methods that we do that, whether it's online, whether it's face-to-face, and a combination of both. We're looking at a combination of both. Isolation is hard to deal with, so engagement needs looking at in a major way. We need the professionals to start working with the amateurs. We need that connection, and offer our young aspiring creative practitioners that are just at the start of their career, to give them somewhere to come to and where to explore their work so they can find their way into the industry, because the industry will be reborn. But right now I feel the government are just latching on to the fact that, this whole country is relying on charities right now, and because we are so adaptable as a creative industry, they expect we will work in the same sort of way. Well, we have a value, and that needs financial support. And why shouldn't we be paid? Same as everybody has the right to do a job. Every single person does. And the government does need to step up in terms of offering our industry help and support. So yeah, that's where we're at. We are going to be partnering up with charities because we feel that's the way forward. We don't want to rely on local authority, although we really appreciate their support as and when it comes to light. Arts Council are our go-to, but there's many other grants out there to support our work. But our strategy is going to be called Hyped. That's helping young people empower diversely. And that's because everything that we want to work towards, all the work that we do within our communities, we want it to come from the young people. We're not going to just design something and say, do you know what, this is a good idea, this is the project we're going to do. We need the time right now to communicate with the young people, with the children and the young people in the communities and the families, and find out how and what they want us to do. Do they want these projects? There's absolutely no point running something if it isn't what is they want and what is needed. So it's a case of identifying what is needed, working with them to then bring forward activities that they actually need, which will support the grander scheme of the community. And the aim is that after 2 years, yes, we need financial help now, but we can stand on our own 2 feet ultimately. We can be self-sustaining, because at the end of the day, economic growth is something that we need to seriously look at as artists. I know that probably sounds a bit strange. You're thinking, well, why is an artist responsible for the economy growth? Well, do you know what? We really are. We're quite key to that. We can help with marketing. We can help local businesses by bringing in more festival work. We can unite the communities again through our work, bridging the gap between a lot of artistic people and business. And it is what we can do. So our plan is to hold a fully independent business festival at the end of it, linking in as many businesses as we can so that the economy can kickstart again. It might be small, but it's a starting point, isn't it? At the end of the day, we all need to come together to do that. Our arts venues need us now more than ever, but also the arts venues need to step out of their venue and realise how the outreach work is equally as important as the actual venue. We have a venue, we do it, and we've worked very, very hard to create a beautiful space for the whole community to use, but right now it's not a space we can use. So it's a case of us utilising that space and then coming out of that space and into the community in outreach work. So dance that moves us, what direction? Dance is mainly what we do, although we do performing arts. So I guess I want to conclude by saying this is just the beginning. This is the start of a massive revolution for the arts and creative industries, and we've got a massive mission ahead. I feel like right now I'm trying to reach out to as many organisations, artists, practitioners, charities as possible in order to design our recovery plan and the strategy that we're working towards. It's about learning from everything we've done in the past, reimagining it. That's what our project's called at the moment, is Reimagined. And we're reimagining the world now in light of COVID-19 and the impact that that's had on our lives, and how we can find a new way of working, finding new ways of engaging, creating new work from it, and just giving research and development time. And I feel we all need that right now, even as humans, just in the world that we're living in. I think we need to think new and how we're going to go forward. And it is hard, and we do miss seeing the kids every single day, and we do miss rehearsals, and we miss being able to have that connection choreographically as well. The coronavirus has had a huge impact. So what I'm saying is the government needs to listen up, artists need to listen up, because this is our time now. It's our time to stop moaning and come forward. I've done enough moaning to last me a lifetime. But we need to do this now, and we need to come together, and we need to think of a strong, secure future for our creativity and culture. So I hope today my blog has given a little bit of insight into the struggles we face. But we've got to stay positive. We can do this. We can easily turn it around. We just need to believe in ourselves, and that is it. It's self-belief right now. So whether you're sat there thinking, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life right now, all you need to do is start believing in yourself and start realising that you have a purpose and you have a drive in you that will push you forward to where you want to do. All you need to do is seriously believe in it, because it can happen. I've come from nothing. I've been homeless before. I've had financial dire straits before. I've had to turn to charities to feed my children. And you know what? All it takes is resilience and self-belief. And my God, I've wanted to give up so many times. So many times. But we can't. So we need to keep going. We need to be strong. And we need to set and pave the way for resilience for the future. Sending all my love to you. and let's reach out.